everyone, it's Nella here with Alwyn, with an in-depth character video about Alwyn. So I've actually I've gone into more detail about her backstory, so I'm not really going to mention that too much. This is going to be more about her as a character, so her personality and that sort of thing. Personalities and quirks. First off, I do have to mention that Alwyn is a magician's apprentice. And yeah, so Alwyn has actually spent, I suppose, the past 3 or 5 years, however long it's been, since she became an apprentice. It's been spent essentially traveling the world, following her master magician around all these crazy places, and learning magic. Alwyn is quite quiet and bookish, and she prefers to avoid conflict, and she tries to be really polite. But if she gets annoyed with either a situation or with a person, she tends to become very blunt and to hurt people's feelings because she's being blunt and not thinking of how other people will take her words. She's actually really wants to learn more magic. Magic's something that absolutely fascinates her, so she gets very annoyed and angry when her master magician, Master Faust, pretty much starts avoiding her and avoiding teaching her magic. This happens about 3 or 5 years after she's started learning magic. And she knows that there's some reason behind why he stopped, but he's staying mute about it, and she's just way too angry about it to ask him. In part because she knows that if she asks him, he's going to lie, and she's going to know that's a lie. Alwyn's favorite music is big band jazz, though she does like the occasional lounge jazz. But she really likes the swinging, fun aspect of jazz. And in her eyes, Lena Horne is the most glamorous, beautiful woman ever. Yes. And, quick little note about her style. I'm just wearing a white shirt, which she's also wearing a white shirt. Her outfit this time is a bit too modern. The pants aren't the right cut, the shirt isn't really the right cut. But it gets the point across. Alwyn doesn't wear girls' clothes. Alwyn doesn't wear skirts. She doesn't wear dresses. She doesn't like things that are really cut to accentuate her figure. She doesn't like that. Alwyn feels much more comfortable wearing loose-fitting clothes or clothes that are made for boys. And this goes back to a pretty young age, pretty much once, but because she was living with her family, she couldn't really tell her mom, no, I don't want to wear a dress to church, or no, I don't want to wear that skirt that you spent 3 days making. She wasn't going to tell her parents that she didn't like dressing like that. But once she went off with Master Faust, she pretty much immediately told him, she went, don't get me dresses, don't get me skirts. And Faust just went, what am I supposed to get you then? She goes, get me what you get a boy. And Faust just kind of went, okay, I can do that. And he did. When Faust goes out to buy clothes for Alwyn, he'll say that he's buying them for his younger brother. And if he brings Alwyn along, then he says, well, this is Alice, because Faust has this thing about never in public saying Alwyn's name. Just because it is a more unique name, so he doesn't say it. And he'll say stuff like, well, this is my younger sister Alice, but we're looking for a suit or pants or overalls or whatever it is they're buying for her twin brother Al, and they're about the same size, so can you just take her measurements and work off of those? And, you know, the shop assistants will be kind of like, that's a bit of a strange request. I don't know about that. And then Faust will kind of, you know, like, casually just kind of show them and be like, you know, like, oh, well, would this be enough for the hassle? And they'll take a look at the money and go, oh, yes, of course. Yeah, because Faust does stuff like that. And actually Faust, in a good portion of the time when he's either bringing Alwyn somewhere or they're going to be spending the night at like an inn or something, he'll usually introduce Alwyn as his younger sister. This is because it's still magicians being seen out and about is still a fairly new development, and one that Faust didn't have when he was an apprentice. So he's kind of using the excuses that he was given, which are like, oh, this is my family member, or, you know, like, son of my friend, like that sort of stuff. And yeah, that's about it with that one. Though, of course, I mentioned in one of the prompt videos, romantic relationship. I mentioned Alwyn's relationship because she is in a romantic relationship. She's the only one of my characters that is in one. Oh, and one last note, actually, about her. It's about her face-up. Not that you can really make it out. Really can't make it out. She actually has very light freckles all over her face, and her eyebrows are very sad looking eyebrows. Alwyn's kind of default emotional state is worried. She's worried about what the future holds. She's worried about Ethel because they're separated. She's worried about why Faust has suddenly stopped wanting to teach her magic. She's worried that she's done something wrong. Yeah. And I feel like I've mentioned this before, but I might not have. Since Alwyn has a very mature outlook, is generally more responsible than Fleur is. When Miss Celeste, the shopkeeper, isn't around, Alwyn is the one who's in charge of the money during the day. Yeah, I don't know why the youngest person is seen as the most trustworthy person for keeping records, but there you have it. Okay. Bye, everyone.